cool, right? Halloween, man. It's a thing we grew up with. One of the most identifiable little sounds we hear. If you ever want to freak someone out, you immediately just play a little... Ooh, that just conjures up a feeling, right? So let's take a look at this in a simple and more advanced way. In a simple sense, this is a little F-sharp lick. It's in 5. It's in a smaller grouping of notes. But let's check it out. If we're up here on the 7th fret of the B string, there's an F-sharp note right there. And we're thinking like a little power chord shape. Simple, right? The only other note we're going to add is the pinky on the high E string above the 3rd finger. That's like the last note we play. So the first thing we need to do is get used to playing the power chord just back and forth. In the opening, I was using my fingers, but you can use a pick and stuff if you're just playing it somewhere, just jamming, whatever. Let's talk about the groupings of it. So it goes high to low, and we think of it in 3 notes. That's the first little tidbit. 3 notes. Then we do the same 3 notes again. And then we're going to do 2 pairs of 2 notes. The first 2 notes is the same power chord, just high-low. And then you're going to add the pinky I mentioned a second ago, and then go back to the F-sharp again. So in overall, the whole thing is constantly going back to the F-sharp. That's called a pedal tone in music. So we think of it like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you want to make those all even 8th notes. That's 1 bar. Now it's in 5/4, which is really cool, man. That's kind of adds probably some of the creepiness to it. But if we think of this, it's 3, 3, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But there's always 8th notes going on. Right? We think of that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's usually where I see people mess it up the most is the rhythm of it. So that's what I call the initial like seed or the cell of the whole piece of music. The really crazy cool thing is the theme from Halloween was written by the guy who directed it. It's unbelievable that the guy who made the film, John Carpenter, wrote this and wrote the music for it as well. I mean, how cool is that? There's not many people who do that kind of thing out there, right? So here we go. Right, so that's the easy part. The cool thing is what happens when the bass line comes in. So when the bass line starts, it's in F sharp. That's the first note we hear, and that's the pedal that's constantly happening. I'm hearing this like an F sharp minor. It definitely has a minor vibe to it. And you hear the what they call the flat 6. That note is really dark in music. We hear that in Crazy Train to Eminem. Like you just hear a lot of metal. Like a lot of people love that color. It's really a serious, stoic part of the song. So the bass line, when it comes in, it starts on F sharp, does it for 1 bar. Then thinking like kind of in a pentatonic, it goes up to the minor 3rd, which is A. And then oddly enough, it leaves the key and goes to A sharp or B flat. Now this is the part when I played this in the intro, I was tapping this. And this is fun if you ever want to try to get some 2-hand independence. Just try to get this going. Right? And then we're going to add the bass notes down here. So I'm just doing it with this hand. You could do this with a loop pedal. This could be a second guitar player, the band, bass player in your band. However you want to distribute this, this could obviously work in many ways. So here's the F sharp, A. And the cool thing is when that bass note goes up, the melody goes down. So in essence, that little original seed just goes down a half step. Oh, awesome, right? Then back up. Then back down. So when the bass, the cool part about this is when the bass note goes up the half step, the phrase comes down a half step. And that is really, that's called contrary motion in music, when they kind of crisscross. One goes up and one goes down. And that's a strong sense to our ear. So if I do it again, here's the, F sharp, A. There it is right there, right? Now the cool thing is when this is on the B flat, it's not like this phrase went from F sharp to F. It looks like it did, but what I believe how you would think about this or how it's sounding is once that bass hits B flat, really these notes are now the second of the scale going to the fifth of the scale and then up to the minor third. So in essence, the song in a harmonic sense is going from an F sharp minor to a B flat minor. It's a major third away. That's not related at all, and you can hear how much fight there is. Woof. So that is super creepy. This is creepy. When that moves down a half step, that's super crazy. When the bass note comes up, man, it all just adds up to this awesome thing. So the whole thing from there just moves down a whole step once it happens again. So here's the original part. A, half step dropped. It does it again. A. Now the bass note's gonna go from a B flat to an open E. And that is when the phrase goes down another half step and starts on the E as it did when it started on F sharps. This would be like the root, the fifth, and the flat sixth again. And it does the same motion. So it's E, then it goes up a minor third to the G, and then a half step drop to A flat. E, G, A flat. So cool. So the main thing, the simple part is just that initial seed of 5 beats. That alone will conjure up all the feeling you need. So if you're gonna quote this in a solo or you're just jamming and you just wanna pop this in, make people crack a smile, of course, it's great for Halloween and all that sort of thing. But as a composer, it's really interesting to look at how that works as well, right? Just dropping the phrase by a half step here doesn't mean the harmony dropped by a half step, the chords. The chords are going up a major third while the melody goes down a half step. Then that whole thing moves down a whole step when it goes to the E. Such a cool thing, man, right? So many mini lessons. Anywhere in music, man, you can find a lesson, even in the theme for Halloween. All right, guys, if you like what you hear, my name is Suke, this is Lead Guitar Workshop. Hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button. We'll have a lot of new stuff coming up. Visit leadguitarworkshop.com. We have books, we do lessons, and we'll have a lot more coming for you in the new year. All right, have fun. And remember, keep playing.